Resident Imam Mohammed Dudu of Masjid Anu, officials of the Federation of Liberian Mandingos Associations in America, represented here by the Vice President, Mr. Fufana, and the Secretary General, Honorable Danzo. My own President of the Minnesota Mandingo Association, Honorable Mohammed Enza Dole, and his co-officials here tonight, other guests and well-wishers, brothers and sisters, and our little ones here tonight. First, I want to say thank you to the NGO officials for the singular honor that you have come to tonight. I do understand it was a short-term position, but there are many other equally capable people that will have stepped in tonight and done a great job, just as I will do tonight. For that, I am extremely grateful. I also want to thank the Almighty Allah for making this day possible, for bestowing upon the organizing leadership of this convention the fortitude and foresight to bring this process to fruition, and for getting all of us here, the attendees, from those who came from far and near, to get here to the Twin Cities safely. There's an American poet, he's dead now, James Russell Lowell, and he once said, or he once wrote, to every man and nation comes the moment to decide. For every man and nation, and that is true for every organization, for the BAM and for the BAM and Association, there always comes a time to decide. As I reflect today on the history of Mandingo Nation, as I reflect on the history of Mandingos in Liberia specifically, I cannot help but think that this convention in this beautiful Twin Cities is the opportunity for the BAM Mandingo Association to decide if truly we want to move forward or stick in the unpleasant memories of the past, of the harsh realities and challenges that have characterized our existence as a people in Liberia and around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, our country, Liberia, today stands at a crossroads. The history of the war is no secret to all of us, to any of us. We've come out of a long civil strife. We find ourselves in a position enviable but yet unpredictable that leads us to a role of a wholesome functioning democracy. I'm happy to note that under President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, whose policies I may not agree with in 100% totality, but there is progress being made each and every single day in Liberia, both infrastructure-wise, both in the freedom of speech allotted to people, both in the freedom of association, and both in the freedom to practice what you believe. For that, I'm truly humble and grateful to the Liberian government at this time. In this light, I want to ask your indulgence, ladies and gentlemen, our fathers, our mothers, our sisters, our brothers and children, to allow me to discuss tonight, as the President, Mr. Kamara, suggested, the role of the Mandingo people in fostering unity, peace, and sustainable development in post-war Liberia through total involvement. For too long, Liberia has been torn along tribal lines. Mandingo problem, Gio problem, Bandi man, Kisi man, you name it, we know it all. Even in our own community, we call people down, we call people Catholic. And Brother Govin Kosha is not here tonight, but I pay homage to him for being one of those persons who stood up on the listservs, on the internet, to discourage that behavior within our own communities as we try to foster unity and progress moving forward. The Liberian Mandingo tribe in particular has been at the receiving end of some of the harshest psychological, emotional, as well as physical ill treatment. A situation that stems from the refusal of certain quarters in our communities in Liberia and some places in Africa to accept the fight, the historical fight, that Mandingo people are truly born and bred Liberian citizens. There's no if, there's no buts, there's no whats about that fight. History proves that, history has recorded that, and everyone knows that. Brothers and sisters, this afternoon or this evening, my time here is almost 6, I don't want to belabor that point any further.
Sorry.
That has been enough said. There has been enough said about that over many, many years. What I do intend to do tonight instead is to discuss how the Mandingo tribe, like the rest of the other indigenous peoples of Liberia, can contribute in the most productive way to the national reconstruction process in post-war Liberia. At this juncture in our nation's history, I strongly believe that it is more urgent and important to work in concert with all willing parties, no matter their tribe, no matter their religion, no matter their creed, to foster unity, lasting peace, and sustainable human and infrastructure development than it is to dwell on the injustices of the past, regardless of how deeply organized such injustices might have been. The forward march to progress and prosperity in Liberia, the forward march to progress and prosperity in Ban, the forward march to progress and prosperity in Kolam, the forward march to progress and prosperity in every nook and corner of Liberia will, and the forward march to progress and safety in our common patrimony in Liberia will triumph, and we should not dwell on the vestiges of ill will we harbor from the past. The overarching question, therefore, will be, how can we as a people, as Mandingo Nation, move beyond our past and set in motion an irrepressible drive for nation building? To answer this question, it is instructive that we as a community, we as a Mandingo community, we as a religious community, we as an Islamic community, it is instructive that we re-examine our historical past with a view of realigning our priorities so as to maximize our potential to be equal partners in the business of post-war reconstruction in Liberia. We can successfully accomplish this exercise by taking several steps I intend to recommend tonight. 1, my brothers and sisters, mothers, fathers, our own children, I think it is time that we start considering ourselves as victims in Liberia. It is time that we start to consider ourselves as equals in Liberia. Yes, we've been victimized over and over and over again, but guess what? We have to stop feeling sorry for ourselves. We have to step up to the plate in terms of claiming our rightful position in that country, not only as original citizens of our country, but also as equal and responsible partners in the struggle for its re-emergence from decadence to respectability. In that direction, we must seize the mantle ourselves and let the whole world know that we Mandingo people truly belong, not just by our words, but also by our deeds. Let us not get addicted to the warm and fuzzy feeling of having a few government officials speaking in our behalf and pointing out how badly we've been treated. We are a proud people. Our religion, our culture, do not support us ever driving on the compassion of others. We should not perpetuate victimhood, because that will only serve to win our motivation, our creativity, and our initiative. Victimhood, as we all know or might know, breeds paralysis. It makes you weak. You always want help. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, we need help, but we do not need that kind of help. We need to be men and women enough, fully aware of our position in that country, and fight for our rights in every way imaginable. When we do away with the victim mentality, we grant ourselves the emotional and mental freedom to fully engage the rest of Liberia in the substantive discussion of post-war reconstruction. Brothers and sisters, this is a role we must embrace. I am ecstatic that the Ghana Mandingo Association is one organization that is spearheading this drive by and through its social welfare agenda. As we strive to uplift our people, one man at a time, one school building at a time, one clinic at a time, one water well at a time, you are on the right track to making us a post-conflict society. Truly, your effort, DMA, deserves emulation in our larger community. 2, we can do all of these things, but we need to educate ourselves. We need to educate ourselves. There's nothing in the Quran that says don't educate yourself. The Quran encourages education for the betterment of each and every community, especially for the betterment of the Islamic community. It is imperative that we empower ourselves through education. If we seek to be truly competitive as equal partners in the Liberian National Theater, we have to rededicate ourselves to acquiring solid education. A well-grounded education is a precondition for the achievement of most social, political, and economic goals, not only among us, but also amongst all peoples everywhere in our Commonwealth. In the most recent past, I have been really happy and gratified to observe a trend of consistency in our communities across the United States and even back home. Nowadays, we see a lot of drive in our communities aimed at achieving higher education. Every day on the internet, there's a graduation ceremony being announced. Every day on the internet, there's a graduation party being announced. This is commendable. We should not tire. We should not give up. We should continue in that trend. We have inalienable rights as original citizens of Liberia, brothers and sisters. But the only way those rights will come to fruition, and the only way we can enjoy those rights as equals partners in the business of Liberia, we have to be able to stand toe-to-toe in the educational arena. I am so proud today we have the Mandingo man as Finance Minister of the Republic of Liberia. I'm so proud we have Mandingos in every level of government in Liberia. Not only that, we have Mandingos in every level of non-profit organizational capacities in Liberia and beyond. This is commendable. We should not tire. We should not stop. We should continue on this trend. Ladies and gentlemen, the third point is, let's get involved in the political life of Liberia. Yes, we are trying, but it's not enough to be Minister of Finance. It is not enough to be a deputy minister. It is not enough to be operations manager at the Free World of Monrovia. We have the capacity, we have the human resources, we have the ideals, we have the ideas, we have the respectability in our community, we have the brains in our community to become whatever we want to be in Liberia and around the world. The time, after all, is long past when we became active political participants only during election times. When somebody wanted to be president in Liberia, they came to the Mandingo community, and after that, they stole us away. When somebody wanted to be senator, they came to the Mandingo community, they would take it back and rest, and after that, they threw us away. The time has passed for that. We must groom our own people. As the Imam and our father said, we must respect each other, we must cooperate with each other, we must push each other, we should stop envying each other, and push one another to the highest heights we can see in Liberia. And let's start that tonight by being heavily involved in the Mandingo Association's projects that they are undertaking. They deserve our help, they need our help, we must provide our help. We must initiate and support national political action committees. I've said this over and over. We can't go American and say implore all the educated Mandingo people. It's not fair to him. We can't call the deputy minister's position. We say implore all the Mandingo brothers. They don't do it. Say, oh, that man, he led his people. It's not fair to them. We have to be able to stay here, educate ourselves. We have the opportunities, and then we get called upon the same way they got called upon. And we'll create an institutionalized system where Mandingos will be throughout the ranks and file of the current government and beyond. Believe me, ladies and gentlemen, believe me, brothers and sisters, believe me, our fathers. When we begin to get this much involved, we will no longer have to worry about members of our community being included in government, because we ourselves will have the mantle to appoint people to the government. Yes. 4, as always, let us continue to be active in the economic life of our country. History bears me out that the Mandingo ethnic group is amongst the forerunners in the area of economic productivity in Liberia and in Africa. And if we continue on that trend, it will be in the world. If the single man one gas station. The next thing you know, he got 10 gas stations. Give him one taxi. The next thing you know, he got 10 taxis. We are an industrious people. We are a hard-working people. We are people with backbones and the fortitude to move forward. Let us not allow the society in America to change that. Let us practice our religion as forcefully as we can, and in that process also be forceful in the way we participate in the economic life of our country and our communities. Last but not least, let us engage the rest of Liberia in a national dialogue. The time is long past when we start to call people down. That man are Kisi Mandingo. That man are Bandi Mandingo. That man are Kuru Mandingo. There's nothing but Mandingo. If you got that blood running through your veins, no amount of somebody calling you down will change that fight. And the longer we call other people down, the longer they call us something else. It is about time we learn to integrate. We have to engage the rest of our country in the national dialogue aimed at educating our fellow Liberians about our culture and religion. Sometimes they fear us because we say Allahu Akbar. Because they don't understand what Allahu Akbar entails. We've got to be able to talk to the basser man, to talk to the crewman, to talk to the bandit man, to talk to everybody, and let them know what life beneath Allahu Akbar. Now we know when we be friends, we might as well just convert them to our religion. As we associate more, we'll be presented with opportunities both formally and informally to agree in the mindset of other Liberians that our religion and culture are grounded in the dogma of peaceful resolution of conflicts and respect for other cultures. Brothers and sisters, Liberia more than ever before today needs its people to wake up to the unambiguous reality that the adherence to the principle of cultural diversity is a precondition to peaceful coexistence. We as a community must take the lead in bringing this practice to fruition. Let us use the richness of our culture and our religion to initiate and maintain peace. In our everyday existence, let us make a point of striving to exchange experiences with other people, our fellow countrymen, with the hope that we all will learn the valuable lessons of peace, unity, development from those exchanges. As I conclude, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, it is important that we, the individual citizens and organizations, like the organization is doing today, play our part in delivering needed services to our people. We must turn our backs on greed, selfishness, primitive sentiments, prejudices, and so on. These vices must be replaced by a sense of altruism, goodwill, working tirelessly for the common good, even in the face of severe personal sacrifices. Guess what? These gentlemen that came from out of state, they made sacrifices. They left their families behind. They left their jobs behind. They left their businesses behind to be here. That's why it's possible. We must make sacrifices to move this community forward. We must redirect our thoughts and actions as supporting families. Don't be ashamed to take a car seat with your daughter or son in it. Let's support our family. Every community begins with a strong family. Don't be ashamed to tell your wife, I love you. Don't be ashamed to tell your daddy, I'm so proud I'm your son. Don't be ashamed to tell your family, you are there for them, they are there for you, and you will always be there for them. Let's build strong families. Let's build strong communities. Let's build a strong Mandingo nation. Let's build Liberia. To this end, we must refuse to accept the notion that Liberia is an irreparably divided nation. No, I do not buy that today, not tomorrow, not ever. We must demonstrate that we can rise above self-interest, that we can live and work to propagate political, tribal, and religious tolerance and gender equity, and that we are ready to resolve all aspects of disagreements within our families, our organizations, and our communities. I'm so happy Brother BT is here tonight. He and I have had so many disagreements over policy matters or political leanings. But I'm proud that for once in my lifetime I've seen the Mandingo community come together on the cause. In Liberia, we've always seen Yoni Sekou, yeah, calm down. Yoni Mamadi, calm down. Okay, Yoni Asukroma, yeah, okay, Imam in Kampe, I don't care. Get down and you get brutalized. Now they are proving to them we don't have to succumb to those kind of things. Through his instrumentality, through the instrumentality of Brother Sharif on the East Coast and other people, that case has been followed, has been prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, and we must get our support. My dear brothers and sisters, when we break free of victimhood, when we seize the movement and educate ourselves, when we become proactive in the national, political, and economic arenas, and when we engage the rest of our country in the positive national dialogue, we will have laid the necessary foundation, not only for the progress of our own community, but also the creation of unity, long-lasting peace, and sustainable human and infrastructural development of our country. May Allah Almighty bless this organization in all of its endeavors and save the Liberian nation state. Thank you so very much.
That was good.